So brands are important, and we all like to have the nice stuff. We like to buy brands because they're a mark of quality. You know, people are happy to pay extra if it is good quality, and I suppose that's how it works. So branding is actually quite important because it sets the quality. So I'd like to show you something. I've got the X20S by FrSky. Oh. I know what you're gonna say, that yeah, FrSky, blah blah blah, the firmware, not having it, but you need to listen to this video because this video is important. The X20S, I bought this out of my own money. T9 Hobby Sport, thank you Richard, he's been absolutely amazing, he's helped me. If you want to buy FrSky products, speak to Richard from T9 Hobby Sport. You can find their channel on www.t9hobbysport.com. Speak to Richard. He will advise you on what you need to know, but they're straight from the FrSky. He is the UK distributor, main dealer. He's the registered and recognised distributor of FrSky products in the UK. So if you want fresh and new, straight from the factory, speak to Richard at T9 Hobby Sport. And that's a plug for Richard. Not because he's sponsoring this video in any way whatsoever, it's the fact that he was so helpful in my purchase. When I saw this being some leaked videos about this is going to come out, this is going to be the new radio. When I saw this then, I thought, I'm having that, I don't care what the cost is. I contacted Richard, spoke to Richard, when's it out, when's it available, I want to pre-order it, and this was months ago. So in fairness to Richard, he said, look, I'll get back to you when it's available. But I didn't want the base model. I know there's lots of review models gone out there early, pre-release on the X20. I wanted the X20S. Why did I want the X20S? Not because it's the top of the range one. I wanted the S because I wanted the upgraded gimbals. The primary difference between the X20 and the X20S is the gimbals and the Bluetooth module. These gimbals are the fully CNC machined with 10 ball bearings, and they are the top of the range. These are like £60 gimbals, £60 each, whereas the other ones are £20. They got plastic backs. They still all effect gimbals, but these were the slightly better ones. But what I liked about these, you had a feature on them where you could actually rotate them. And it was only an 80-degree rotation, but because I'm a pincher, not a thumber, is that having them rotated moves my horizontal plane slightly up, and they are actually adjusted. I don't know whether you can quite see on that, but there is a slight adjustment that I've made on there. The other feature on there is the Bluetooth. If you've got the telemetry apps, and this will export the data via Bluetooth onto the apps, but I haven't got the apps. But what I have got is headphones, Bluetooth headphones, the earbuds. So it's handy to put one of my earbuds in, and I've get the timer warnings into my ear, and I can get my voltage readings, etc, etc. It's a nice little feature, but they're features that's above and beyond the standard X20. But man, what a feel and quality. It's almost like as if it's sculpted out of aluminium. It's like a block of aluminium that's been laser cut and sculpted into a radio. It's not, it's plastic, but it's real high grade stuff. It's got a bit of weight to it as well. It feels comfortable. It's got rubber backs. And I know what you're gonna say. Oh, but firmware. So let me tell you something about firmware. It's got the light modular bay. Because I bought the XJT Lite, and it's a little receiver module, transmitter module. So that can go on the back, and it is simple as that. It's clicked in, and look how neat that is. and then you've got an antenna. Now I don't know whether you've noticed, but there was no antennas. Why aren't there any antennas? The antennas are diversity antennas. For the 2.4, there's a vertical and a horizontal antenna in the screen, in the back of the screen. For the 900, it's tandem, it's a dual frequency transmitter. So you've got the R9 system, which is the 900 meg system, which is in the handle. If you do wish to select you've got some nice, fantastic external antennas, there's little plugs, and there's one for 2.4 and one for your 900 there. So you can, and in the settings, you can set for external antennas. So you can tell it, the transmitter, don't use the internal ones, use the external ones. So if you wanted to add a high gain antenna, you can. So that's a nice little feature. So your old receivers, your D8s and your L9Rs can go on there. Your D16s, why would you use that? You would update the firmware. Now when you get receivers, they normally come with these types of leads, and sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't, but more than often they end up staying in the bag or the box, and you probably throw them away. But what these are for is for doing firmware updates. So you plug that into your receiver, and then that will be an S port, pos and neg. You can plug that into the back of your transmitter, and you can do your firmware updates to that. Don't get afraid about doing firmware updates. Let me tell you, I've done it, and it is easy. You just download the files and stick them onto the memory card. Whether you do it through your USB lead or whether you take the card out and put it in, and you put a folder on there called firmware. And then you can put all your receiver firmware in there, and all you do, plug that into the radio, say flash external receiver, within a minute or two, boop, it's all done. And then you know that'll work with your radio. So the myth and the problems of everybody, firmware, no. Believe me, I'm going to cover this in subsequent videos to show you how easy it is. I had to learn it, I went through it, but I've done it so I can help you. You can actually update the firmware over the air, so you can do updates and changes, no problem at all. You haven't even got to plug it into anything, it'll do it wirelessly. So when you buy access receivers, you're not buying LBT, FCC and all that, you buy access and it will work. So that is now a thing of the past. They have made it so easy. So the old days of worrying about firmware and all that is a thing of the past, and I'm so pleased to do that. I bought that radio, it doesn't work with anything. It does not work with any of my receivers. You're thinking, what the hell are you doing? But I bought that gives me compatibility, so I've got the old one, but I want it to be new. So what I've been doing, I've been going through my radio, my receivers, and I've been flashing them to the latest firmware, and I've got them all ready to go. And the D8s that are not compatible with the radio will be compatible with the module in the back. So easy.
Welcome to Ethos.
The quality of the display is nice and clear. You can put your own picture of the model in. You can take a photograph, set the size of the photograph, and that can go in there. Anything you want to change is intuitive. Bang, you select it, press it again, you can go into edit. If I go into that edit, you've got all the edit settings. It's touchscreen, it's just like using your phone. It is intuitive. It is not difficult at all. I've gone through this without any instructions. I'm not Einstein. I'm okay doing the basics with OpenTX. I found this very, very simplistic. I can go into the model settings. There's different options there. I can go in the screen settings. I can go in the system settings. It's almost like MS-DOS. Hello, Windows 95. MS-DOS, Windows 95. It's natural progression. Things move on. We've got to move on. The receiver qualities and standards have changed. The regulations around transmission have changed. It's moved on. But hell's bells, this is a serious bit of kit. And yeah, it might seem expensive compared to some of the cheaper brands out there, but brands, you get what you pay for. If you want to buy cheap, it's up to you. That's all I want to say on that. FrSky, or FrSky, has had a reputation for being good quality transmitters and receivers. They brought out all the bells and whistles and started to move the technology forward and done a fantastic job. If you want their top end radio, get one of these. This is a serious bit of kit. They've thought about the design of this, and ethos, big thumbs up. I'm really impressed with it. I'm going to do a host of videos to, you know, show you how to set up these things, to give you a bit more insight. So if you're interested in that, then subscribe below. And I'll do a couple of sessions where as I'm working my way through these things, you'll actually see me how I set it up and what I do. So if you're interested in that, then subscribe and you'll see my setup videos and any firmware updates. And I'm going to flash some receivers, so I'll show you how to flash the receivers. Believe me, it's not difficult. If you like what you see, then thank you for watching Team Woolly Sheep Reviews, and subscribe because I got more to come. I can't help the videos having advertising. It looks like YouTube are about to drop me with adverts, and I'm not happy about that, but I'll have to see what I can do to minimize it. So thank you for watching. Hope you're getting some value. Give me the thumbs up or thumbs down, but not because it's FrSky. So what I'm saying is that FrSky have made improvements, and they are very positive improvements, and they're going to be amazing. I bought that because I think it looks cool and I can't wait. So thank you again, catch you soon. So hope you enjoyed. Bye.